Thank you, Andrew. I'm Caroline Cake. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Deputy Director at HDR UK. And building on the vision that Andrew has just set out, I'm going to give you an overview of the programme, a UK-wide capability that will enable the safe and responsible use of health-related data at scale for research and innovation. And I'm also very excited to be sharing with you the key announcements for the programme, so you can see how much has been achieved since we met at the launch on the 7th of May. So we have 18 members of the UK Health Data Research Alliance, 7 health data research hubs, the Innovation Gateway, the metadata catalogue, and the minimum viable product coming together, 7 members of our user group, the Sandbox, and a roadmap that shows how we're going to be working together over the coming months. This is also a very nice opportunity to thank our fantastic colleagues from UKRI, NHSX, the Office of Life Sciences, our Public Advisory Panel, and everyone who's helped us develop this programme. So the DIH programme has been designed to stimulate a new wave of innovation. As Andrew set out, there's a series of things we gathered of feedback of what people are wanting, and we're designing the programme to meet these needs. And this is all underpinned by building people's confidence and trust in how data is used. This is crucial and essential in everything we're doing. The Hub will be bringing benefits to everyone, to patients, industry, academic researchers, and will improve the way in which we're able to prevent, detect, and diagnose diseases. And it will do this in 3 key parts. So 3 parts to the programme. The UK Health Data Research Alliance, which it brings together the major data custodians to make data available for research and innovation. The Health Data Research Hubs, which are improving the quality of the data and making available expert services using the data. And the Gateway, which provides a common access point for innovators and researchers. And this is all underpinned in combination by this need to demonstrate patient and public benefit. So we create a trustworthy use of the data. And I'm now going to take you through the major announcements and developments of the programme and how these will contribute to a joined-up UK-wide offer for industry and researchers. So starting with the Alliance. So the Alliance is working in partnership with NHSX and with NHS organisations to support the adoption of open standards and to promote connectivity across technology in health and social care. So it brings together the leading organisations who are custodians of data, and there are 18 current members and more expected to join in the coming months. And the members include national bodies, so you'll see very familiar names on there. We're also delighted to have NHS trusts on board there, charities and research cohorts, and many of you are in the room today, so thank you very much for that. And the Alliance is going to be working together across 5 major work streams, which are critical areas for research and innovation. So firstly, around data standards and quality. Secondly, about improving and supporting the Innovation Gateway development. Improving participation and access to the data. And building aligned approaches to trusted research environments. And very importantly, in the centre here, engaging and involving practitioners, patients, and the public. Our new website for the Alliance has just gone live, so that's available for you to look at now, which sets out a great resource showing all the things happening with different members in that. So please do start using that, and thank you to the team for developing that for today. And on to the hubs. So the hubs are providing curated disease-focused datasets for clinical trials and real-world evidence. And their competition was launched in May, which many of you are at a launch of that. We're delighted that over 160 organisations across 21 consortia applied. So it was an incredible coming together of different organisations on that. We had an expert panel who led the selection process, which was chaired by Lord Darcy. And it was an extremely difficult process. So thank you to everyone. It's a lot of work put in by everyone in terms of putting together the bids in actually a relatively fast and short time scale. And from that, 7 hubs were selected. And I'm delighted to announce the 7 hubs. So, yes, congratulations, everyone. So we have Breathe, which is for respiratory health, led by Aziz Sheikh. DataCan for cancer, led by Charlie Davey. Discover Now for real-world evidence, by Axel Heitmuller. GI No for inflammatory bowel disease, being led by John Bradley. Insight for eye health, being led by Alistair Denniston. And the NHS DigiTrial for clinical trials, led by Martin Landry. And Pioneer for acute care, being led by Liz Sapie. So thank you for bringing together such fantastic teams across such a broad and diverse and exciting area. The hubs are located across the UK in multiple locations, and this picture shows the extraordinary reach of each of the hubs in there. Each of those colours is a hub and shows the links of the different areas they're involved in, and multiple specialisms. They're creating a new way of working in the UK, a way of working in partnership, supporting research and innovation and learning from each other so that collectively we create the world's leading environment for health data research. This is the start. The hard work's all to come, but the goal is exciting, ambitious, and will benefit all of us. And the next key part of the programme is the gateway. The gateway, as I mentioned before, the common access point to the UK's health research data. And this will be bringing together the data from the hubs and from the Alliance and making it discoverable. So it's not holding data, it's making it data discoverable and accessible through that route. We're developing in two phases. The first phase is around developing a minimum viable product, which gets up the discovery and access portal established. And we have identified the partner for that and will be commencing on that in the next few days. The metadata catalogue then is being supported by NHS Digital and University of Oxford. And so the gateway is getting up and running, and the aim is by the end of this year, beginning of next year, the first metadata will be discoverable through the platform. The phase 2 then will be starting in parallel to that, and we'll be developing the kind of larger scale aspect of the gateway through a technology partnership. And so you'll be hearing more announcements of that coming forward. And the fourth component I was just going to mention today was the sandbox. So it's very easy to develop various things in a dark room and what you might think the users actually require. But what we really wanted to make sure is we really understood what the user requirements were for data. And so wanted to bring together a group of people who are genuine users and needing it from research and innovation. And so we put a call out over the summer to identify potential partners to help us on that. And I'm delighted to announce the 7 organisations she selected through a panel, and it was wonderful to have help of our Public Advisory Board and NHS in identifying these users. So these organisations each has a research need and innovation requirement, and they'll be working with us to help ensure we're developing a tool and approach that is really genuinely valuable. So thank you very much for your support and those who've are volunteering and helping on that. And so on to my final slide, which is setting out the roadmap from here. This is the same slide that we showed you in May, and we are on track with exactly where we said we'd be, announcing today on the 12th of September. The next step is that the hubs will be commencing on the 1st of October, and we'll be looking to then have the MVP, the minimum viable product, up and running by the start of 2020. And you'll see that coincides with the end of milestone 1, which is for the hubs at the end of this year, 31st of December. Across those, then, there are going to be these 3 kind of strategic areas which we'll be encouraging, as Andrew mentioned at the start. Across the hubs, we're encouraging them to work together on 3 key areas: public and patient involvement and engagement, curation, and sustainability of their model. So these will be worked across together, and we'll be starting today on that. So these are really important areas on there. So thank you so much for your support and everything to get us to here today. And it's extremely exciting. We're looking forward to then meeting again at the next stage to see how we've achieved and what's happened across there. And at this point, I'd very much like to welcome Angela, who's the chair of our Public Advisory Board, to talk about how this is going to benefit patients and the public.